Okay, so here we go. Second part.
Okay, and what the hell? The Hatter says, the Vorpal sword or the Vorpal blade or whatever that thing was called can't be used more than once, or some. He implies that, but they never explain why.
Yeah,
Like,
that's...
is it a magic sword? I mean, it seems like I could cut the dragon's head off with it and it'll still be sharp.
Mm-hmm. And that's a very good point. I didn't think of that. Just... you can tell that they really didn't do any or much research, or just generally, that the effort that they put into the script, at least. Well,
And here's my pissing Tim Burton off. Tim Burton does not do research. He basically takes the basic idea and makes it his own because he raped Sweeney Todd. I mean, he literally raped that musical.
mm-hmm. I still haven't seen Sweeney Todd. My brother says that he enjoyed it, but just generally, I honestly don't know as far as it concerns. I mean, the whole concept, that the idea that Tim Burton has done a musical doesn't appeal to me in any way.
It's not really. They cut all the music out. And it pisses me off because he talks about how he got Johnny Depp, and he's like, well, Tim called me and asked if I could sing, and I said, I don't think I can. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, he really cares about the character, doesn't he?
Oh. But, I liked Johnny Depp's performance, but, yeah, and I have since been informed that Johnny Depp was responsible for the way that the Mad Hatter looked, because he does, like, drawings and concept art for how he wants his characters to look like before he starts acting and creating them. Very method actor kind of thing to do.
Oh, he's a fantastic actor. I just don't like how Tim Burton uses him as a crutch.
Oh, and I'm sure if it was like a Mad Hatter film, I mean, I know that whole basis would be, really bad, but it would be better than this film was. Because I really like the idea of watching the Mad Hatter go around with a claymore and just, cutting people up. Just...
Yeah,
Ah.
I agree. That would have been a much better movie. And they never really explain, like... They kind of imply why he's crazy because of that day the Jabberwocky came and blew everything up.
But he was crazy.
But they never really go into... I don't know. It seems like because he looks normal, I thought he was. That's what I gather. But I guess not, seeing as Alice came before then.
Yeah. I thought that took place between this film and the book. I've just Tim. I mean, I don't have any problems specifically with Helen Bonham Carter, whatever her name is. And
Also in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, also in Sweeney Todd. Oh yeah, the only line from that I've heard from Sweeney Todd that I found vaguely interesting is when I think someone sings "The world is a pit and the pit is full of shit," or something like that, and that made me chuckle. But yeah, that's the extent.
It's a hole in the world like a great black pit, and it's filled with people who are filled with shit, and the vermin of the world inhabit it.
Yep, that's the one.
I listened to the original soundtrack religiously. The Tim Burton one, not so much.
Oh. It's just when people say that line just completely lacking in emotion, it actually sounds pretty funny. But, yeah.
I really thought I had a handle on this movie, and I apparently don't. But it's because this movie is just, and from what I've heard, because I thought I'd be the one with the unpopular opinion, because everybody seems to think everything Tim Burton does is solid gold. I just couldn't stand this. I mean, it seems like a very poorly directed, poorly put together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
I really wanted more of a fantasy to Alice in Wonderland, and they turned it into fucking Lord of the Rings.
Oh, I just don't see why all fantasy films need to have that big epic battle at the end. There's no need for it. And this wasn't even epic. This was like a tacky bastardization. I mean, what moron tried... I mean, Tim Burton, I imagine, probably tried to pitch this. Oh yeah, in the end we're gonna have soldiers with chess pieces for heads fighting big red playing cards. you know, oh god, just
I,
what a
it
terrible
pissed me off
idea.
how underused the cards were. I mean, because the cards are something probably one of my favorite characters from Alice in Wonderland. Like, just, well, I'll say creatures, not really a character. And they don't do anything. They fight at the end, and they march around, but that is all they do.
Yeah, and like, it's been ages since I've actually read the book, so as far as being true to the characters goes, I can't really state anything, but I can make a guess and say that almost all of these characters are very far from what they're meant to be. But then again, it's Tim Burton, so what else would you expect?
Yeah, I said at first this was a weak rent. Now I'm thinking this is probably more of a pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like Electra, like it's not as bad as Electra in my opinion, but Electra was a movie I consider pretend it doesn't exist because it's not worth going in to see.
Yeah, I remember renting that film, and I remember watching it, and it was just so crap that I actually can't remember anything about it because I probably just blocked it out. But
I didn't finish it.
Oh.
I know I'm supposed to be the good little comic book fan, you know, be pissed off, but I got halfway through and I'm like, this is bullshit, and I turned it off.
Oh.
I like fast forward to the end, it's like, is Daredevil pop up? No? Fuck it.
He wasn't a deleted scene though.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, in a deleted scene, what's his name? I can't remember who played Daredevil. I can't believe this. Ben Affleck, yeah. He walks in and he says to her, "Why haven't you come back yet?" or something like that, as in like a ghosty, dreamy kind of thing. And then she says something about some bullcrap excuse for why she doesn't go back to him. Yeah, it's nothing special.
Comic book movies they have ruined. And you know what I didn't know? The guy that played Colossus in X2 and X3 is actually one of the vampires from Twilight.
That doesn't surprise me. To tell you the truth.
The world loves to rape one. And there's this convention called Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia. And I like to go, and this year, like, it's not all of them, it's like the psychic one of the secondary werewolves, and just a handful of Twilight characters are showing up, and I know it'll be a madhouse just for them.
Oh.
Which pisses me off because Ben Linus from Lost is supposed to be there, and I really want to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm not going to wait through the millions of Twilight fans to get to him.
Just go there with like a taser and just... or just go there dressed up as a crazy guy with a chainsaw and then just freak them all out.
Well, if I do go, I'm going to use... There's, because I know Spike is there, the guy that played, Spike from Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And also the, I forget who he was on Buffy, but he's the same guy that does Andrew Ryan's voice in BioShock. And, they're both going to be there, and I'm a Buffy fan, so I'm just going to wear my shirt that says, "And then Buffy staked Edward at the end."
Oh no, yeah, I got this special made shirt because there's a few shops around where I live which do special made shirts, and it's like Twilight is not vampire literature, and then on the in big writing on the front, and on the back it says, "For decent vampire literature, see the following," and then there's just a massive list of really small print. Just the whole back of the shirt is just every other vampire novel you can imagine that's half decent. It's just, yeah, it is. And I hate people going around with Team Edward shirts. Oh god.
Oh, that pisses me. I gotta admit, I'm kind of forgiving of the, one of them's a Confederate soldier in the books, at least I've been told, and one of the shirts says, "Because everyone loves a man in uniform," whatever his team shirt is. And I'm kind of forgiving of that because, you know me, I'm a Confederacy fan, but at the same time, fucking vampires, man.
Okay, so we've got about a minute left on this part, so, I guess final thoughts.
It sucked. The end.
Let us lay this film to rest.